Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Droid Life Show, episode 37 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, as always, Tim, Ron, and Eric. Everybody say hi real quick.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
Hey, this is Ron.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Yes, you are, Eric. So, we took last week off. We're back this week, so obviously that means we have 2 weeks of stuff to talk about. Most notably, Galaxy Note 3, our review's up. Tim and I both have one. Plenty to say about that. He also has a Galaxy Gear, probably on wrist right now.
No big deal.
Review coming there shortly.
It's literally a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is.
It's like, well, I don't know what you mean by literally. It's probably the hottest piece of technology coming from 2013.
Wow.
Okay, that's a lie. And by literally, I mean it's a giant watch.
This is not a giant. Okay, whatever. It's not a giant watch.
Save it for later. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That's
So,
messed up.
since we've also taken 2 weeks off, the Moto X had a serious update. The camera is actually usable now, so we want to talk about that. And 3 of the variants in the U.S. have already received the update. Obviously, Verizon says not. We got more Nexus 5 rumors, even a fancy camera rumor that we kind of debunked earlier. We'll just talk about. We hope that some of you or most of you got in on Verizon's unlimited data savings bonanza upgrade fest that went on over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. We know some people are having some issues there. We got a poll we want to talk about. New Kindles. Yes, we might even mention Kindles for minutes. Even CM, or CyanogenMod, in the Oppo N1 was announced since we last did a show. Lots of stuff. We have a ton of apps. Let's jump right into Note 3 stuff, though. We know you all want to hear Note 3. So our review's done. Tim, do you just kind of want to go over, in general, what you said in your review of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I summed it up with it's a good step, I think, for Note line users, just because, I mean, it's definitely a bump up from the Note 2 with the 1080p display. It still has good battery, you know, decent performance. It's fast during certain operations, but at other times, TouchWiz kind of lags it down a bit, which we touched on in the review. I mean, when will TouchWiz not slow something down? But hey, now. So yeah. Other than that, the camera's awesome. Shoots 4K. It's got some futuristic stuff going on, but then again, it's just too darn massive. Like I'm sorry guys, but the house phone needs to be put down for a bit because it's too big. I was using the Moto X for about a month, I think, before I started using the Note 2, and look at that difference. It's too much. Even over like what? The S4 even, it just kind of like, it makes it look very tiny.
Massive.
Wow. Yeah.
It's too much. So, and then for my pockets and stuff, you know, I don't wear the tightest of tight jeans, but I wear, you know, decently tight jeans, and it's just
Decently tight.
yeah, it's too much.
The tightest of tight jeans is a really good band name.
Thank you. Yeah. Trademark. But yeah, other than that, beat you, man. It's a good phone for people who are into the Note. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's I've been using it too for a little less than you have, but so I did an unboxing of it. I just have to bring this up. I did an unboxing of it when we got the international variant in, and I was critical of the silly faux leather back, and I kind of made fun of the size and stuff like that, while still trying to remain mostly positive. And the Note 3 Colt came out, and they just were like, Kellen's terrible. Don't let him review things anymore. He's so weird and biased. It was hilarious. So Note 3 Colt, if you're there, I really don't mind the phone, actually. I actually like the phone quite a bit. It's just too big. Like you said, Tim, it's the house phone. I actually got my wife calling it the house phone now because she loves the thing, but she's like, it's still kind of too big, but it's awesome around the house. And I kind of feel the same way. It's good to use on the couch when you're just lounging because you have 2 hands free.
Yep.
You don't have to try to pull it out of your not disastrously tight jeans. And it's super powerful, and the display's amazing, and the camera's amazing. It's super fast, although TouchWiz is a little janky. But overall, it's a really, really nice phone. It's just huge. And if you're like us, we just prefer not to have a giant phone. That doesn't mean we don't think you should have one if you like that. I don't know.
I'm not buying the phone, but you definitely should. Basically, that's what we're saying. I think if you're mobile, if you're on the go all the time, this is not really the phone you want to be like. Say I'm walking the dogs. I can't have 2 dogs in one hand and operate the Note in the other. While on the X, I can do that just fine. You know, this one, it requires me to like hold the leashes under my arm, kind of tuck it up in here, and you know, it's just too much. So back to a smaller device I go.
Which is the Moto X.
I've actually gotten back on the One now, just because I missed boom sound. So
When well, we can talk about that later, but yeah, when the One got 4.3 this last week, my unlocked version, I went back to it for a while and used it through most of the weekend. It was actually kind of nice. But
yeah, I'm waiting for. I have an AT&T one. I'm waiting for to get the 4.3. So
oh, that's right. You're
hopefully
not on that yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah,
it's coming.
But anyway, so Note 3, our reviews out there, we really don't have that many negative things to say about it. We've talked about it quite a bit. It's a really, really good phone. It's just an oversized device. So if you like oversized devices, like if you have a Note 2 or an original Note, it's actually probably a pretty worthy upgrade. The screen's way better than it was on the Note 2. The camera's greatly improved. The battery life's there. I think it's even a bigger battery than the previous one. It's way lighter. It's thinner. It's an upgrade in almost every way that you would hope an upgrade would be. But yeah, again, if you don't like giant phones, which we don't tend to like as much, it's not for us. But yeah, if you've got a Note and you like the oversized phones, by all means, go for it. It's a really, really nice phone. So
agreed.
All right, so you've got this Galaxy Gear on your wrist.
Yeah,
so,
show it off.
Show it off.
Well, so
there you go. Boom. Oh, look how hot it is.
So Tim's got this gear, right? And obviously was under embargo until, yesterday morning, all the reviews on it and everything. So everyone just blasted those out. And we wanted to dedicate more time to the Note 3, so we haven't reviewed the gear yet, but it's coming. And I'm reading through some of the reviews that are out there, and people are just universally just trashing on the thing. And I'm with Tim, I kind of like the look of it, but you just talk about it. Talk about just sort of your impressions thus far after using it for a week or so.
Oh boy. Well, when paired with the Note 3, it really comes in handy because again, if you don't want to be pulling out your phone all the time, it kind of helps to have an additional $300 display on your wrist, so you can kind of view what's going on. Although there are some huge drawbacks. For example. It does not display Gmail. It doesn't display Hangouts. There's a lot of notifications that I get that it just doesn't support yet, which I'm hoping come in the future.
Okay, so explain that, though. What does it do when you get a Gmail notification?
It just pops up with a Gmail icon, and then it says 1, and then it says, oh, okay, I have a Gmail. And I'm like, sweet. So I hit it, and then it says, this app is not supported. Click yes to open it on your device. And I say, oh, crap. So you just hit either OK or cancel, and if you hit OK, the Note 3 automatically unlocks and opens and shows you the email. But again, it would be nice if this $300 piece of hardware would show it on itself. Why it can't do that, I have no idea. That's so janky to me.
Doesn't it always show the little 1 next to it, even if you have more than one new email?
Yeah, well, it won't say 3, will it? It always just
That's
says...
what I saw in the Verge review, yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't had multiple emails come up at the same time, and maybe I have, but I've never seen it show anything other than 1. That just never even really came up to me because I just said, oh, well, I can't even view it anyway, so who cares?
Right. So it felt like the Pebble, is what you're saying?
Exactly. So, and I didn't really have much time with the Pebble, so I can't really compare it to that. All I can compare this to the Pebble to is it looks way better. Sorry. This actually looks like a smartwatch, while
really
the Pebble
disagree.
looks like a cheap piece of crap. No offense.
I think we talked about this on our last show, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I think we just agreed to definitely disagree on the styling.
Yep.
So either way,
Hey, one of us has to be wrong, right? And Tim's volunteering. That's fine. It's not a big deal.
I'm cool with it, dude. I can say it. Because either way, I have the best piece of device and you don't, so it's cool. So either way,
how many Gmails do you have? Do you have any idea?
I wouldn't be able to tell you right now. I'd have to look at my phone. But
and you've got one hand on the Galaxy Gear, so you can't. There's no way you can tell.
No. So either way, the camera is kind of pointless. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of gimmicky. There's not really any real use to it because if I have my phone,
except for Snapchat.
Even Snapchat, because the camera's not that good. It's 1.9 megapixels, and when you send anything over Snapchat, it automatically lowers the quality, I think, a little bit. So it just looks like crap, and it's all squared, because of the Galaxy Gear's resolution. So when you get it on a receiving device, it doesn't look very good. So even for Snapchat, it's not as awesome as I had hoped it would be. So I mean, what can I say? Other than the downfall of the functionality of it and the use cases not really being there or even existing, it's an okay device. But for $300, no way, Jose. Yep.
Yeah, no,
What can I
it's
say?
not a good start for the Galaxy Gear.
No,
Nobody
but
has all that.
I really do think it looks good, Ron. Like, it has this metal kind of on the front side. I don't know why you don't like it, man. I requested the rose gold version, but I got this one, and but this one's still nice. Like, it's got this
First world
industrial look to it. It's really hot, and it's not as big as everyone initially
So
thought it
bad.
would be. How does it look bad? Just explain to me like the killer feature here. I don't understand why it looks so bad. Look at that
Let me
cool
pull up
LED.
Yeah. I,
you
feel-
know.
Yeah, I
okay,
really love
I
the
don't,
fact
I don't
that
like
it
the
just
font.
screams no alarm as long as you don't have an alarm.
Yeah,
Like,
that's helpful.
That's a custom clock face I have that I like. So I don't
okay.
know.
Here, I'm gonna pull up a picture of the Galaxy Gear so I can keep it in front of me.
To
I'm gonna
me,
tell
it
you all the
just
things
looks
wrong
very
with it.
boxy. Like, it comes
Yeah.
around the top of your wrist, and then it's just like a box sitting on top of your wrist. Like, I don't...
What
And
is
I've rocked
watch? I mean,
I rocked the Moto Active for a while, and even that thing...
well, that thing is ridiculous. That's a literal square. This is the display is square, but this is actually more of a rectangular shape on your wrist.
It's just
not,
when you look at it from the
it's not
side.
that bad, man. I'm telling
I don't
you.
know. It's not my thing.
Okay, so for one, it's like it has like another bezel around the screen. I don't think that looks good. I think just having it like as plain as you can be instead of having the inside bezel, I think that's bad. I think the
Okay.
screws look horrible on
Oh
the
my
front.
god. Okay.
I
well,
know you
that's
like.
garbage,
I think you like that because you think it looks industrial or something. I just think it looks like they were hurrying to get this out. I don't like any of the fonts that they use at all. I think that they could use a lot crisper, cleaner fonts, and I think that would look a lot better and a lot more modern. That's where the trends have been going for a long time. Samsung, copier of all, should have known that. The screen is probably a little bit too big, I think. I understand they're trying to do some sort of apps and things like that. I seriously don't think that apps belong on a smartwatch, though, until somebody figures out input, which I don't think anybody will, because I don't think you can do that. Those are the big, major things. It's nice that it comes in colors. That's great. But that whole front, I don't know what it is. Was it made out of aluminum? What is that in the front?
You mean the glass on front or the actual metal?
Yeah, the
Like
metal.
aluminum. Oh yeah, I'm guessing it's probably an aluminum or
Some
some type
sort
of
of-
alloy. You know, it's light,
Yeah.
very
I just
hard.
I don't think that looks good
It's probably what they make spaceships out of, to tell you the truth. It's pretty nice.
because NASA's not using it anymore. No, they've been shut down.
Exactly.
Here you go,
Well,
Samsung.
yeah.
So
Either way-
those are the things. I mean, if you like having screws sticking out of your watch, then that's great. Go for it.
Yeah, totally. If you're Frankenstein and like
Yeah.
screws, go
But
for
like,
it.
but it in that same way, it's reminiscent of some of Motorola's previous designs, previous to the X, where they had like screws. Like I think they've had a number of phones that have had that, and I never thought that looks good. It does look industrial. I don't think industrial looks good or fashionable though. I don't want to see
okay.
screws.
Wow.
So
I
I
mean,
mean, if you
what
if you
can I
like that
say?
look, then that's fine. If you like having screws there, then that's that's great. I just don't think it looks very good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I made a couple calls with it, and that's actually quite kind of a lot of fun. You can either like talk to it like this or talk to it like this, and I mean, sure, you look like a goober, but
You did call me, and it didn't sound
The
terrible. I
exact
could
word I
actually
was
hear
thinking.
you.
yeah, it actually sounds all right. So just don't do it in public, like I said, because everyone will hear your conversation and blah blah blah. So
All right, so Galaxy Gear, it's not very good, right? It's not
yeah,
very good.
$300 now.
No. It should be like a free add-on if you sign up for a contract for the Galaxy Note or something. It
I
should
could
just
see
be-
that. I
should
would
just be
say
free.
yeah, I would say like $99, 150 tops. Anything past that's dead on arrival.
Yeah. It's too bad. Now we're
Rest in
waiting
peace.
for Google and Apple to do something that hopefully isn't terrible, right?
Hopefully.
Maybe that's why it was bad, because Samsung didn't have anybody to copy off of.
They got
Seriously,
plenty, they
though?
got plenty
Is that
of
too
them.
rude?
There's already Sony out there, and
It does just sort of feel like they didn't know what to do with a smartwatch because nobody else has really done on sort of their style of smartwatch, and so they just started like throwing apps at it and like voice command crap, and they were like, "This is what a
I don't know.
smartwatch should be." And
I think this is kind of a gut check for Samsung, because for leading up to this point, they were like, "Oh man, we're the big dog now. Like nobody can touch us in the Android game, and then they don't really have an ecosystem to piggyback off of with this Galaxy Gear because it doesn't run straight Android apps. So I feel like this might be a sign for them not to go so crazy.
Well, I think it's good that it doesn't run Android apps because we've seen what that happens, and Sony tried that, and it doesn't, like, trying to run Android on a phone probably isn't the best idea, or on a watch probably isn't the best idea. I mean, you'd have to strip it down in some way. It's just those apps aren't going to run well at that resolution. So I think that.
Sure.
That part of it, like them trying to like create their own ecosystem and work with partners to do that, I think that's probably their best bet, unless they want to work with Google, and Google's going to try and do that. Who knows what they're going to do with their watch? So I think that was probably a good call on their part. But until you get like the full app support, and I mean things like your Gmail notifications, like hey, if I have more than one thing, like don't just put a 1 next to it. Like that becomes a lie at some point. So that's not helpful for me. Like
eventually, that's wrong.
Yeah, like that's like as you're designing things, like that's something you should consider and think about. Oh, that 1, like if there's 2, that 1's a lie. We should maybe make it say 2 if there's 2. Like that's not hard to figure out. It's little things like that make this thing feel rushed and not fully thought out. Like, hey, we got to get this out fast because we're hearing rumors of Google and Apple doing this, and we want to be there first.
Super rushed, yeah.
Yeah, and first is great if your product's great. If your product looks half-assed though, then first is nothing. I mean, Sony just came out with the smartwatch 2. Nobody remembers the smartwatch 1. So
right. Didn't an executive already get quoted on some site saying we're working on a new one already, a new smartwatch? I can't remember where it was.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they already admitted that they're working on a new one, which they probably should be doing.
Well, I mean, why not?
Next year.
The thing doesn't even last a day, or it'll last a day.
It'll last a day, you know.
That's just not good enough.
You don't look at it. Oh yeah, so I just got a Gmail, and it just says, for details, view this notification on your mobile device. So I hit OK, and then the Note 3 opens, and it's spam. So glad we could go through that.
Was it in your promotions tab at least?
I don't use that. I use Priority.
Who uses those things anymore?
Speaking of that, you know how many friends I've had go, I didn't get any of your emails, and then I found them in this really weird like promotions tab, and I just went, oh boy.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, how many emails have you gotten from companies that were just specifically said, Gmail changed, you should probably look in your promotions tab now, and yeah. That was kind of a mess up there.
If you even know what that means.
Yeah, if you know what that means. And most people had no clue whatsoever.
They don't even know what their password is, so just hanging out.
Yeah. Yikes. All right, so Galaxy Gear review. We're hoping maybe this week.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that long to do.
No.
Right? All right, so Moto X camera got just the Moto X in general got an update. It's been a week and a half when it first came out, or at least we were first told about it. So T-Mobile variant got it first, then Sprint, I believe, and now AT&T's is in a soak test, so it should be coming out soon. Verizon's, we really have no idea when that thing's coming. But this update actually does dramatically improve the camera. We did a whole bunch of comparison shots a week or so ago, if you guys didn't see those, and it's actually a decent camera now. It still lacks some of the detail you get from, a 13-megapixel camera or something like that, but 10-megapixel shots, I'm not going to complain too much. Anyways, you guys are going to really enjoy it once it shows up on the Verizon variant in like a month or something. I don't even know when.
Yeah,
so
that update reminded me that the Moto feedback network was still a thing because I hadn't been on it for 2 years with my Galaxy Nexus, so I went and re-signed up for that with my new Moto X.
Yeah, so somebody sent us a tip that said the AT&T Moto X is going through the soak test, and I said the same thing. I was like, I didn't realize the Moto feedback network was.
I didn't know that still was a thing.
Apparently it is, and it's rolling out updates to AT&T version right now. So that's coming out. Also fixes a couple of bugs and stuff, but the big deal obviously is the camera, since we all sort of universally trashed the Moto X camera when we reviewed it and stuff. So.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so we've got new Nexus 5 rumors. We can just quickly talk. Actually, we have specs, and I don't have those handy, so we'll just kind of try to go up there. Actually, 8-megapixel camera, 5-inch 1080p display, Snapdragon 800, Qi wireless charging, obviously NFC, There's nothing really crazy with the specs, I don't believe. 16 gig storage, although we don't know if they're going to do an 8 gig version 2 or maybe up it to a 32 gig version. Obviously LTE. Those are sort of the specs, nothing surprising there. Except today there was a story running around that the camera could be this super fancy MEMS camera module that's sort of like a Lytro in a way where it snaps a whole bunch of photos and then you can maybe refocus them later. And it also autofocuses like that. It's crazy fast. And we don't know if it actually has one or not. We sort of dove into it, and all we know for a fact is that the sensor is made by Sony, and these MEMS cameras, these MEMS camera modules also use the same Sony sensor. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a MEMS module, if that makes sense. But it could be really cool. So if you haven't used a Lytro camera, essentially you can take a photo, and then once it's done, you can continue to click on it. It's like a living photo, I think is how Lytro describes it. You can click around, it'll refocus in areas. It's a really cool idea, and this MEMS cam does something similar, at least after the fact. It doesn't take photos in the same way, but what MEMS cam does is take 6 shots consecutively, and then it patches them all into one photo, and you can sort of click around. It's kind of a cool idea. But the autofocus is also insanely fast. It would be awesome. It would be one of the cool selling features for the Nexus 5. It had it. I just don't think we know if it's actually going to. Probably won't. The modules are not cheap, and if Google wants to sell this thing at a reasonable price like it did with the Nexus 4, would be kind of surprising. But then again, Vic Gundotra did say we're going to make really amazing cameras with our Nexus devices, so who knows?
And they could just take the LTE out of it, save some money that way.
Seriously. Yeah, how did that go over? Yeah, that went over real well last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. It would be a really cool feature. We just don't know if it's actually happening. The other thing we got in the last week was a new photo of it. So somebody over at Mac Rumors said they got their hands on the phone, then snapped a picture, posted it to Mac Rumors, and within about 30 minutes deleted it. So obviously there was something they didn't like or who knows what. We obviously got a hold of it before it was deleted. And it shows the phone laying face down, so you can see the sort of camera sensor there, the Nexus logo on the back, a giant scratch on that matte finish, so that should be interesting to see how that holds up. And then there was also a device laying face up on it, which kind of looked like another Nexus 5, but maybe with a white back, so who knows, maybe we'll get 2 different Nexus 5s. Yeah, that's sort of our Nexus 5 roundup. Fun stuff.
Feeding the hype beast.
Yeah.
That was your
and we are in October now, and we should see it, at least we think, by the end of October. There's another rumor going around that mid-October it's going to get announced. The last I saw was late October, so we'll see. See what happens there. All right, so should we talk really quickly about this Verizon Unlimited upgrade thing that went down over the weekend? Did you guys follow this at all? It was kind of wild.
I missed it.
Yeah, you did. Just a lot of people just missed it by like a week. We saw a ton of emails and comments of people saying, damn it, I just upgraded a week ago, and now I'm screwed. All right, so how this went down, we got a tip. Well, actually, on Friday, somebody told us that the $30 6 gig VZ Edge program that was going on, or called VZ Max, I believe, was available to people that didn't want Verizon Edge. You could just go in and sign up for it. And so I went into my account and looked, and I didn't see that deal, but I did see that it was sort of letting me keep unlimited data, which I thought was odd. I just kind of sat on it thinking it was just a bug on my end. And then emails on Saturday morning started flooding in of our readers who were seeing unlimited data and apparently what they thought was allowing them to keep it. And it just kind of took off from there. And so we posted about it. I think it went all over Reddit and a bunch of other sites. And essentially, Verizon had a screw up in their site for a weekend that allowed you, I should say a screw up. We don't know if it was delivered or not. You know, it's like the last 2 days of the quarter and all that. Very convenient. So anyways, all these people took advantage, upgraded, kept unlimited data, although we still weren't really sure what was going to happen. Were they going to keep it? Was Verizon going to screw everyone? What was going to happen? So Monday comes around, and we reach out to Verizon looking for official words that we can pass on, and they write back and say, we are going to do the right thing here and honor all of those upgrades, and everyone that did it gets to keep it, except that hasn't quite happened with everyone. There's some people that have seen changes to 2 gig $30 plans. Some people are just scared to activate their phone because they think they're going to get screwed. Some people have their orders canceled, but a number of people, I would say, at least it seems like the majority are they just have unlimited. Everything's fine. There's this handful of people that are having issues, And unfortunately, Verizon doesn't sound like they've sent this memo out company-wide to let everyone know that if this unlimited thing went down, like, you can all just go ahead and approve it. So we're getting emails from people wondering, do we get to keep it? Where's this official notice? Did Verizon post it anywhere? How do we like back this up when we go into a store? And we don't really know what to tell you on that. Verizon sent us, their PR manager from their corporate, from Verizon corporate, sent this to us, and so I don't know. Anyways, it was wild. Like, people were upgrading like crazy. I think that post has a couple of thousand comments on it of people trying to figure out how to do this, how not to do it. It's kind of wild.
So mad. I can't believe I upgraded like a week and a half before that. Man. Now we're on a 8 GB family plan. It sucks. Man.
And how? Oh, you've been on it for a couple weeks. I was gonna say you should just take your phone back, exchange it.
Yeah, what happened with the plan?
Well, remember how it was supposed to work and then it didn't?
Right.
Well, apparently my mom was talking with the
Poor Eric.
with the reps, and apparently it wasn't going to happen, and she just decided to give up and give into the dark side. So we're all on a shared data plan now. So,
well, I guess if they're not,
buddy now.
Yeah, I guess if your family isn't using that much data, you're probably okay. But maybe they are. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
You don't trust them.
Especially my sister.
Most people don't use that much.
Sister's freshman in college. Man. I've seen her text message numbers monthly, and it is, I know that's not data, but I've also seen how many tweets she posts every day. So.
Yeah, but it's just text.
I'm not trusting that.
Somebody wrote a post. Actually, I think it was BGR of all places. Think what you want to BGR, but one of their guys wrote a post that said Verizon and AT&T ruined LTE, and what their point was that when LTE was announced, it was going to be the next great thing, and we were so excited. High-speed data, video all over the place. It was supposed to be this awesome experience, new phones, all this stuff, right? And then Verizon and AT&T went, no, we're going to cap you. We're going to put you under all these limits. And he went on to say, you know, instead of enjoying this amazing data connection, I find myself attached to Wi-Fi networks wherever I go, and I'm scared to use my data rather than being excited to use my data. And I just thought it was kind of a good point. Like, we were introduced to this new network technology, and it was supposed to be awesome, and it hasn't really been. We're trying to find workarounds or special weekends where we hope that Verizon screwed up so we can keep unlimited data, because so many people are scared to lose their data. Then if you're on tiered data, now you have this mindset or something in the back of your mind where you're constantly worried about how much data am I using, maybe I should be on Wi-Fi. That really does suck for it being a next-gen technology, and a lot of people can't really take full advantage of it. So.
Yep. Like,
I disagree.
And I've been having to keep track of my data now, and even just like when I drive in the car, which isn't that much because I'm at college, so I walk everywhere. Like, I'll use my phone to stream Google Music for my car, and even then, it's like I'm at like 1.5 gigs, I think, for the month already, just from doing that. You know, it's
Google
in
Music
like 2 days.
Well, no, I think
for his billing period, I think he means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, billing cycle. Google Music already takes up so much bandwidth and whatnot. Those files. When you have it to stream at a high quality, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't even have that turned on anymore.
It'll still. I mean, if you're doing any kind of streaming, that's the reality.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. I've been on.
Some songs, buddy.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. So I've been on tiered for probably 7 or 8 months now. I don't know. I got on it pretty soon after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fun. Like 90% of the time I'm on Wi-Fi, so it's not a big deal. I'm at Wi-Fi at home. I'm at Wi-Fi at work, and so I just I've got 4 gigs between my wife and I, and we usually are way under 2. So, but if you are if you're doing a lot of driving and streaming, which I mean, that'll do it. That's anybody that I talk to that either goes over or gets close to going over. That's what they're doing. So.
Yeah, like I would probably be fine, like you, because I sit at home on Wi-Fi, so while I'm working and all that, so I would be okay. I don't necessarily need a whole ton of data, but yeah, a number of people, like my wife streams Google Music at work all day. My brother, same way, he streams all day while he's at work, And those, a lot of them, they can both get on their work Wi-Fi, but sometimes work Wi-Fi sucks at, the companies they're at. And so they have to switch over to 4G, and they would just run through data too fast.
Yeah.
So
I can't say I blame Verizon, though. I mean, we all saw that shift coming. There's that promise of, hey, like at some point, our data connection is going to be good enough where we won't even need like a cell network for phone calls. Like we'll just use data. Like we all saw that coming. We all saw this shift coming from, hey, we're not going to send SMS messages because they're horrible and sucky, and we're going to switch to some other sort of, communication protocol, whatever it's, whatever chat kind of thing it is. Like we've all seen that coming, and Verizon did too. And so like that data has become far more valuable than it used to be. So I mean, I don't totally blame them. It's more valuable, so you should charge more. That's that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you would be sort of a fool to not think that these companies were going to figure out that LTE was the next great thing for them to make money with. It's just when it was coming out, we were all so excited, and it's just completely changed around from what it was when it was initially introduced. It's still fast data. It's just there's the sort of like Wild West of data usage is now gone, unless you're hanging on to an unlimited
that one
data
day like a year and a half ago where I got like 65 megabits down. Oh man, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, those days are definitely long gone.
That was definitely the Wild West of LTE, right?
But the connect even now the averages are still crazy good. I mean,
Yeah,
if you don't believe me, go back to a
day.
3G phone. Like
Yeah.
it sucks, man.
Yeah, I did a speed test the other day on a Verizon phone, and it was, I think, in Portland anyway, I think I got 8 and 5 or something like that.
What?
Which is, it's still not like that slow, but it's not what
man.
we're used to get. And so I've been running...
Try topping it at 3 if you've got great coverage.
Right.
Try topping it at like a half of a meg down if you're on Sprint's LTE.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a
me and Kellen were at lunch last week. We're in downtown Portland, like a major city, and it shows I have like 3 bars of 4G LTE on Sprint, and I'm like, all right, man, let's speed test it. And mine would not even find a server, and after 5 minutes of finding a server, a Portland server, mind you, and then the bar was just not moving whatsoever.
Yeah.
It stopped at like 0.5 down, and it got like 1.3 up, which was weird. But,
that is weird.
It was so bad. And I'm using the Unlock Note international version with T-Mo's HSPA in the same place, and I was getting 14 and 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And Sprint LTE couldn't even do it.
That's the thing. 1 bar of Verizon LTE and you're killing Sprint.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. It was ridiculous. So the phone was so bad. I need to have access to my email, just in case. And emergencies.
Who knows how many you have? But
yeah, right. And so I asked the guy at the place where I was like, hey, you guys have Wi-Fi. Can I get the password? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he gives me the Wi-Fi password, and the phone wouldn't even connect to Wi-Fi. And so I was just like, what is the deal? And I was so mad at the
It was still finishing that speed test.
Yeah, I was just mad at Sprint. Like, even though I know the Wi-Fi might not have been their fault, but it was at that very moment, just in my mind. So
for me,
Sprint's
it's always
LTE.
like if one of my technology stops working, it's everything. Like if my phone, if for some reason is like not getting signal, I'll turn it on to Wi-Fi, and then my Wi-Fi will stop working then too. And then like I'll get on my computer, and the computer won't work. It's just like a chain reaction.
Yeah, and that's important, man. We haven't. I mean, we've kind of gotten to a point with Android phones where battery life is pretty much not an issue, no matter what phone you get on.
Right.
But for most phone, HTC still seems a little iffy on that. But I don't think a lot of people realize like how much service you have has this huge impact on, especially if you're on CDMA.
Oh yeah.
Has this huge impact on battery life. So if you're on Sprint, like get off if you want battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just like I've seen it even just even if I'm on Wi, it doesn't. Even if you're on Wi-Fi, it can still have a negative effect on it because it's constantly searching for it. So
Poor Sprint.
if you're able to get off of there. Unless you, for some reason, have great Sprint coverage. You're the only person that I would know that has great Sprint coverage. But
You're the only person anyone ever knows.
yeah, I've never found anybody that loves their Sprint coverage.
You think Sprint executives even use Sprint? Because they probably travel all over the place.
They've got a totally different carry phone.
Yeah, there's no way that they could possibly be using Sprint. Unless it's like their little Nextel walkie-talkies. Like, hey guys,
Now that you
what's
guys
up?
mention it,
Just got off the jet.
there's a Sprint store store over on the other side of town, and it's like in the middle of a strip mall parking lot, like, closer to the road, where the building is, and there's nothing else. There's like no tall signs or anything, but right outside of the Sprint store, they've set up like a mobile cell tower
They have a
so
cow.
that they can
They got a
actually
cow.
get
They have a
cell phone
cow,
service in their own
That's
store.
awesome.
It is hilarious.
Well, most wireless stores usually have a tower right near them, or like a little one on their store or
Yeah.
something. So, but that's
But
bad.
It's
If they
definitely
need
like
a
a
cow
mobile
rolled
cow.
up.
Yeah, like it's horrible, and it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
That's
So
embarrassing.
good.
Sprint is they're just in a sad state these days. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Is anybody even going to a Sprint store? Why do they even need that?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even know
right.
this existed.
Just for the employees that are hanging out doing, playing Snake or something like
I'm
that.
trying to think of where a Sprint store is in Portland. I know I think there's one downtown, but I could name a T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon stores all over the place. Sprint stores, you just don't see them anymore.
I know exactly where my Sprint store is, but that's just because I kept on checking out the Palm Pre when it was out.
If you want a Sprint phone, you just go to Radio Shack. Because don't they? No, they ended that
They
partnership. I think.
cut out Sprint.
Yeah. Well, never mind. I don't know where you can get Sprint.
You have to
Can't,
find a
not
Sprint
allowed.
store. Yeah, maybe
Online,
Best
I
Buy.
guess.
Best Buy probably. Yeah.
Oh, Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy does. Yep. That's where my brother
Well,
got his
that's all
Nexus
I need
S.
then.
Yeah.
My poor brother and his Nexus S.
Oh, that's.
Oof. I loved the Nexus S. Just the feel of it in hand.
That was
Not
a good
that it was
phone.
a good phone, but like it
Yeah,
felt.
that was a good phone.
Yeah,
The screen sucked.
the screen was really terrible. The camera
Oh.
was terrible too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
the
there was a
camera's
few
bad.
things
Bad.
that
The
were pretty
Nexus
bad.
phone.
The back.
Just try,
Oh,
just
man.
try using it today. Like I feel so bad for him.
Yeah,
I
he's-
wouldn't use
He's a
it
new
today.
phone, but he's on
Oh,
Sprint. He has the Sprint one. He's on Sprint.
Sprint, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Was that LTE on Sprint?
No.
No, I don't think LTE existed yet.
No,
No, it
not on
didn't.
Sprint's network.
I thought they had they had the Galaxy Nexus was LTE on Sprint. That's right.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was and then they had that weird deviant because it was 1.5 gigahertz instead of 1.2 or something.
Yeah.
That's right. It was slightly different. Yeah.
God, why do I remember that? Let's move on to things that I
Let's
don't
move
remember.
All right, so we ran a poll, and I want to get everyone's opinions on it. We ran a poll that said, bigger deal, the Nexus 5 coming out, Kit Kat, so Android 4.4, Google's take on a smartwatch, assuming they're still making one, or something else that Google's going to do probably in the next month. Our readers, assuming I have that handy, they overwhelmingly sort of said Nexus 5 is what they really care about, which I thought was kind of surprising because Android 4.4 is obviously going to go to most people's phones, but Nexus 5, 52% of people said that. Android 4.4 is at 34%. Smartwatch was down there around 7%. New Nexus 10 in the gutter at 3%. No one really.
300 votes.
Yeah, 300 votes is all for the Nexus 10. And something else, which I don't really know what that would be, 4%, even top the Nexus 10. So what do you guys think? I'll just go around. Tim, if you had to pick something on that list, what's the bigger deal to you?
I want to say Nexus 5, but I'm really hoping that Android 4.4 is just something major that I can actually look forward to. So I want to say Android 4.4, just because I'm tired of Jelly Bean. I want a little switch up. 4.3 wasn't nothing big, so I'm ready for something tangible, something I can feel, something that really resonates with me. So. Yep. I'm sorry, Nexus 5. I know it's probably just going to be just probably your average run-of-the-mill Nexus device. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Where's the shots fired, Eric? Where's the shots fired? Maybe you.
He's too busy doing hashtag Team Eric.
Yeah.
He's too busy self-promoting.
That's hilarious. Ron, what do you think? What was the bigger deal on that list?
I don't know. I mean, definitely not the Nexus 10. Probably
Google smartwatch.
There's problems with all. Yeah, okay. Google smartwatches at this point is vaporware, and nobody even knows what the deal is with that. So who cares?
Well, I know the code name.
Yeah, it's
I'm not going to tell you, but I know the code name.
No, well, because if we talk about it, then people will steal it and write about it. So I don't really want to.
That's right.
Yeah, we can't put a watermark on our words. So.
People are asking me to disrobe. That's disappointing. So I don't think that's worth anything. The Nexus 5 probably gonna. I mean, maybe it'll have LTE this time. Hey, maybe they'll work that out.
That's actually a good point. This Nexus might have LTE.
Yeah, so
that's kind of
there's
cool.
that, you know? That doesn't sound very exciting to me. It's a Nexus phone. They usually have some sort of horrible, glaring flaw.
Oh,
Uh,
geez, shots fired! Shots fired!
Kit Kat. Who's even have Kit Kat? Kit Kat doesn't seem very important. Nobody's gonna get it for like another 3 years, so that
Holy
doesn't seem.
crap!
Yeah,
So,
I was wondering if anybody was in the same boat.
So
and I'm
many
really glad
shots
that Ron's-
fired.
Ron's in the
Yeah.
same boat as me.
So I
Petition.org.
guess my thing is
Run.
something else, whatever that would be, because all of those things don't sound exciting or relevant to anybody. Is that cool? Too much? Okay.
Such a hater. All right, Eric, go for it.
No, see, I was wondering the same thing. Like, if anybody,
Yeah.
if
Team
any of you
Eric's
guys were in
actually
the
Team
same boat.
Ron.
Because I
Team
looked at that
Roderick.
list and I was like, all right, I'm not going to get the Google Watch because I don't want to charge something every night. I just bought a Moto X, so I'm not interested in the Nexus 5. I mean, I really hope that 4.4 is going to be something interesting, but everything that we've seen indicates that it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be nice things, but it's not going to be anything big. And Nexus, who cares about Nexus 10? I mean,
Such haters.
I really hope that 4.4 is something to talk about, because if not, then these last 3 months of the year are going to be pretty boring.
I'm really hoping it doesn't turn out to be that gray icon crap we've been seeing.
Notification, yeah.
Like, I don't want gray up there. That's terrible. That's the worst thing that they could do, is like make it some monocolor thing going on. No.
I don't know.
I like
feel
blue. I could do green again. I wouldn't mind if they went back to green. Maybe like not so bright, I guess, like gingerbread was. Maybe like a lighter or a more flat green, I want to say.
Well, the only reason we still have that blue is because it's left over from Honeycomb, which was kind of a. I don't want to say immature, but I do want to say immature, like, you know, rebranding of their own like Tron kind of vision. So I feel like
I mean, they released it to everybody. Oh wait, no, they didn't ever actually release that.
Team Honeycomb.
so.
Launched on the Zoom. Lots of people got those. Oh wait.
Hey, I had a Zoom.
I still got
My
a
dad
Zoom.
still has
Still
the
got
Zoom.
one too.
The Zoom.
Did you say Zune? Zune? You have a Zune?
Yeah,
No,
Zoom.
nobody bought Zunes.
I had
Oh,
one
yeah.
friend who had a
Forgot about
Zune.
the Zune. So the Zoom still works just fine. I mean,
Yeah, my dad is still rocking his Zoom.
Yeah, it's got that rear-facing power button like the new Kindles.
Yeah,
Good
it's
to go.
great. It's and that was like the perfect power button too. It's just right there where you're holding
Was it though? Yeah, unless you have it turned around, then it's.
So genius. Well, why do you need it turned around? No.
That thing weighed
that thing
about
was a
15 pounds. Too.
nightmare.
You're holding it wrong.
Yeah, it's like a UPS die. I just beat people with
It was definitely heavier than a
Pure
brick,
metal.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
All
a
those-
nightmare to
that's
ROM,
Motorola.
too.
That's
Oh my
Motorola
God.
build quality for you. So
Yeah, it's industrial.
that's classic Sanjay.
Some
job
screws
right
in
there.
there.
Seriously, when you think back to that whole thing, and they released it, it was supposed to be do you guys remember this, right? It was LTE ready, but it didn't even have an
Oh
LTE
my
modem
gosh,
in
I
it.
Gotta send
forgot.
it in.
They
And so you had to
send it in.
send it in.
Oh,
What
that's
a
right.
disaster.
I forgot about the send-in.
You
Yeah.
had to
Wow.
send it in, and they would just open the thing up, and they put a chip in there, and then they had to factory wipe it. So they told you to back it up, like they
Of
sent it back.
course.
And I think people weren't even getting their same tablets back, right? Because I don't know that they really could keep track of them. So when I sent mine in, I think I like etched it or I wrote on it with a Sharpie just to make sure I would get mine back. But I sent it in way late, so it actually did send me mine back. But yeah,
That's crazy.
Sharpie.
yeah, I wrote on with a
Forgot about
Sharpie. I wrote like a K on it or something just to see if like I get the same one back.
Hashtag K.
Yeah. So I think Nexus. See, now you guys are just ruining everything for me. I was so excited for the Nexus 5. I think just because I love new devices all the time, but
Yeah, but I'm not going to get it. I mean,
Right.
it's going to be awesome for people that are still like
will
waiting
you guys
for it. Even
get
though,
your asses off
So,
Verizon already?
so, you-
I
so you're
don't
saying
think it's
you're
gonna
not
come
getting
Verizon.
it, but somebody else should get it?
yes, they should.
That
I don't
sounds
know why you
familiar.
guys would employ that kind
Trademark
of an
that.
argument.
I'm
Yeah.
trademarking it.
When you did just get a
Yeah.
Moto X, Eric, so you have reason to not.
Yeah,
really
I'm
care,
set for
but-
the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm in a long-term relationship now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm excited
Well,
because I love the Nexus
That's
4.
fair.
I know not many of you, at least sitting here with me right now, like the Nexus 4, but I really like the Nexus 4
I've never
outside
even
of the
touched the
glass.
Nexus 4.
It's such a sweet
You've
little
never
phone. It just-
touched a Nexus
It's
4?
great.
Nope.
I have
Never
one
It
even
just has
seen
a
one.
sitting in my
shitty
desk. if you
camera.
want.
I've never even
I have
seen
one
one in person.
Just walk into a T-Mobile store, bro. What are you doing?
I don't know where a T-Mobile store is.
It's right next to the Sprint store.
Look at that awesome.
Yeah, no, the Nexus 4 is
glass
great. It's
Beautiful.
glass on both sides that you can just set down and it cracks for you. It's got a lousy camera.
Well,
So
I
this
have.
is what it's like to be an iPhone user.
I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have like a
Glass on
glass
top. Give me a break.
protector.
Yeah, but I can,
no, have a
I can set my
glass
phone
protector.
down and it doesn't like break. Like I'm hanging out here,
Well,
no problem.
Well, I have
I can do
tempered
that
glass
too.
back on there now.
Oh,
I can set
crap.
that sucker wherever I want. It won't break. Yeah. So I like the Nexus 4, so I'm
doing you
excited
well.
for the Nexus 5, even though I like the matte finish, because the matte finish reminds me a little bit of the
I'm a big fan of
DNA.
matte finishes.
Yeah, and the DNA felt cool in hand because it had that matte finish, but I remember the DNA scratched so easily that I'm a little scared that this Nexus 5 is just going to go, any
you
little
can't-
nick is going to show on there.
Especially your Nexus, you can't just buy a Nexus and not have it like not break now. Every Nexus you have from now on will just something will go wrong on the back, so you're gonna scratch yours.
This one will be fine. This one will be
Normally the thing going wrong, normally the thing going wrong in the back is the camera, but this time it's just gonna be.
that
No, it's physical problems.
Yeah. We're going to have to take a bunch of glamour shots of it the minute we get it.
Yeah.
And just use those for the
Save
next,
them up, yeah.
use those for the next 2 years because we won't be taking any more pictures of it. So I'm excited for it just because it's a Nexus that finally has LTE. Obviously, the screen should be really nice. It's 1080p. It'll be LCD. The camera, hopefully, is decent for once. It has wireless charging, which I don't really care that much about anymore because no other phone uses it, so I haven't used a wireless charger in a while, but it's neat. And I guess all I really care is about the LTE at this point. The rest of it I'm just hoping is awesome, but LTE is nice to have finally.
Okay, so let's think here. If the camera is decent on the Nexus, what's going to be the fatal flaw this time? Because there has to be one.
Screen flashing issues or whatever's still plaguing the new Nexus 7, whatever's going on there. That
Or
thing's
the
still
screen-
not
the
fixed, by
lifting
way.
screens like on the original Nexus 7.
Original Nexus 7.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
that. I don't know. That
that.
camera,
Let's
the
think.
camera kind of looks like poop.
There will be
It doesn't
something,
look
you're
great.
right.
Yeah. We should make a decision about what it's gonna be though.
Predictions.
I think the battery's probably gonna blow just
Yeah,
because
it's 2300.
1080p display.
That doesn't sound like a Nexus phone.
2300.
No,
Oh, I know, right?
Really good
If
battery.
it doesn't have last year's specs, it's not a Nexus phone. So-
Yeah, the Nexus 4. So the Nexus 4 with HSPA and Andy Rubin sitting there going, the battery experience just isn't great with LTE right now, so we went with HSPA. The battery life in the Nexus 4 sucks. Like, it's not good. I can't imagine.
That's why. Imagine it with LTE. Yeah.
Well, seriously, imagine it with LTE. They probably tried a couple with an LTE chip in them, and they just went, oh.
Well, it was
Well,
was
they have
there,
them
right?
there.
Yeah.
They're just not turned on.
Yeah.
That's true. It does have an LTE chip.
So they clearly went one step.
Yeah. So they probably were testing
They
with
probably
LTE. And just
pulled
went,
it back.
yeah, no,
After
let's turn that
internal
on.
testings are like, we can't.
Yeah.
This gets 2 hours of battery life. We can't.
They just
do this.
need to borrow Samsung or Motorola's proprietary battery software so they can keep Android under control.
Hey, this Moto X battery
So bad.
is awesome, man. I have had no problems with battery life with this Moto X.
The Moto X is a
Thank
perfect
Motorola.
Android phone, no doubt.
Man,
So-
so good.
Except
When
for
you-
the camera.
Well,
Which
yeah.
has an update coming that will
Yeah,
fix
it's
it.
coming, man.
it'll be mildly better.
We'll just process
Oh.
the shit out of your pictures. So if you go from the Note, Tim, I don't know if. Well, that's right. I took your Moto X away.
Yeah.
If you go from the
Is
Note,
he in trouble? What happened? What did he do?
I've
No,
been
we
a
had to
bad
send
boy.
it back. It was a review unit. We had to send it back. But if you go from the Note 3 and then pick up a Moto X, you can like wrap your hand around. The
I
whole
know.
thing.
It's like, well, your hands have to grow in order to
They
like
do.
fit around the Note 2.
Your hand just
So-
goes. "Ugh," yeah.
Yeah. So I can imagine what
You can
that's
just,
like.
yeah, you can just
Probably pretty
wrap your
great.
hand around it.
I mean, I'm back on the 1, and I can, palm.
It
this
feels
thing.
small.
Yeah,
It feels
exactly.
small. Yeah.
So
After the Note
You
3.
guys gotta try this pre.
You're like,
Dude.
can't even
Slide
see
out
the
keyboard.
thing.
well, we brought up the
Yeah.
Nexus S, and I got one of those, and this thing is like tiny. This thing.
Yeah.
Is that a Nexus S?
I mean, you can
Spotted.
literally, guys, you can literally palm this.
Oh baby.
Done.
Is
Google.
that the Nexus S?
Oh yeah,
The
definitely.
Nexus
Black
S has
and
such a
white.
good design. I think I like that.
I think so. That curved display.
Because
Well,
it
that is
curved-
that's cool.
curved glass over a flat display. We had a big discussion about that today in the comment section with curved glass and the Galaxy Nexus and how it was all false advertising because it actually wasn't curved.
It
So
wasn't at all, really. Oh.
the display itself wasn't curved.
I think it's
just the
plastic.
glass.
Just the glass is curved. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still
But
kind of cool.
But the S, like, have it like when you had that face down, like you knew what phone that was. Which
Yeah.
is sick.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
it just totally sticks up. Check out that hump.
And it wobbled. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wobble wobble.
Wobble wobble wobble.
All right, so back to our poll. Kit Kat, I think it's tough right now to be excited about Kit Kat because we don't know what it's going to be. It's
Right.
obviously a big enough change that they gave it a new name. So there's got to be something. And like a week ago, we had a phone that was pictured allegedly running Kit Kat, and they showed different colors in the notification bar and a new dialer. And we have no idea if that was real. It could be. It might not. It could just be a fake mock-up for all we know. It
I thought
looked.
it was fake.
Yeah, it could easily be fake. We have no idea. It looks kind of neat, but we don't know if it's real. So we don't know what to expect in Kit Kat, and I think that's kind of why it's hard to be super excited about it. The big thing, obviously, is that it will come to most phones eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, and then the smartwatch. I think we've seen so many terrible smartwatches at this point, and especially with this disaster that is the Gear, that it's tough to go. I can't wait to see what Google's doing with the watch. And yeah, we haven't seen prototypes for it. We haven't seen it go through the FCC. There's no signs that this watch is going to be here in the next couple of weeks. So for all we know, we're going to get a new Nexus 10 and a Nexus 5 and Kit Kat. The watch could be way down the road somewhere. So
maybe it was ready to go, and then they saw what Samsung did, and they thought we should probably not do that. Let's go ahead and wait.
Let's wait. And the thing is, everyone keeps saying, well, the iWatch is coming, the iWatch is coming, and they're probably doing the same. They're sitting back, watching everyone fail at smartwatch after smartwatch, and they're just going to create something that's probably actually worth checking out. So.
I'm sure, yeah. Any company that is now currently working on a smartwatch that is not released has an entire team of market analysts, and they went and bought a ton. They're like, here's what sucks about these. Let's try and make ours not suck like this. So I think we can expect something better. I want to say better, from Motorola or Google, whoever. Just. At least I hope. I don't know. I am very optimistic about the smartwatches. I know no one's probably got it right yet, but it'll come, maybe, or not. Like Ron said, the input is kind of a big deal. So.
Yeah. Well, I think what's going to end up happening is that I can't think of any way to solve input. So I think it's just we're going to have to change what we expect out of smartwatch.
Good point. Yeah. Say if it had like an always listening thing like the Moto X, and instead of having to touch it to say, then I could just say, okay, Google, or something like that.
Was it Motorola making it, or?
Yeah. No, I can't comment on that. But so anyways, like I was saying, hopefully it's something cool. Whatever Google has going on.
Nothing's
hopefully
confirmed.
it's cool. Nothing is confirmed.
Nothing confirmed. Yeah, so I ordered a Sony Smartwatch 2 this week because they're like $170 through some random accessory dealer, and so we figured we'd give one a review compared to the Gear and all that stuff. So we'll give that one a look, see if Sony did it right. Actually, so I didn't realize this, but this is Sony's third smartwatch. I forgot they did this thing called the Live View that was kind of just an accessory that you could strap a wrist thing on and turn into a watch. So it's technically their third one, but we'll give it a run, see how it works. I also backed that Kickstarter project that was all over the place, that Omate True Smart smartwatch.
Omega True Smart?
No, it's Omate.
Omate?
O-M-A-T.
Someone put Omega True Smart, and I was like, oh, that's the thing that Kellen got.
Oh, yeah, it's actually Omate. But anyways, that's coming soon. Probably November, I think I'll have that. It's supposed to be waterproof and has a 3G radio in it. I don't know why the hell you would need that. It has a camera. It does all this stuff. We'll give that thing a run, too, although I think it's about this thick. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, smartwatch. So Nexus 5, really excited about. Kit Kat, I think we'll be excited once we get it. We'll probably just go, oh my god, Kit Kat, this is so... And they'll change the UI and some stuff will change and it'll be cool. Yeah, that's going on.
Heck
All right. Are we going to cut down on any of these last three?
Yeah, let's...
Let's cut down on CM. Let's cut down on BBM. Let's cut down Kindles.
Well, let's just blaze through. Okay, so new Kindles are out. They still run forked Android. They've changed the UI. What's it called? Firefly 3.0 or something?
Who cares?
Isn't it just Fire OS?
Oh, it's Fire OS. That's what it is. Fire OS 3.0 is the new version or something. So new Kindles, they're HDX. They have high-res displays. I think they added cameras, right? They have cameras now. A new industrial sort of angle design, and yeah, new Kindles.
Hot little tablets. Oof.
They actually don't look terrible,
get
but
it?
they
I
just
see what
don't
you did there.
run.
Oh, fire! You get
See
it?
what you did there, Tim.
Nice.
Didn't even
Yeah,
mean
That was a
to.
good one.
So those are out soon. You can pre-order them all. Most of them ship either this month or early November, I believe.
Man,
Yeah.
you should have put sunglasses on before you said that.
Yeah.
Anything anybody else wants to add about the
My glasses
Kindles?
from the car.
I
have a
think
pair of
the only things to
3D
note about that is that performance looks a lot better on the Kindles, which I don't know if you guys remember before. I was there at the event, so I remember vividly looking at this and asking all the reps, like, hey, like, is this shipping software you got going on here? Because when I tap this, I got to wait quite a while before anything happens.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So that looks a lot better. And then they have that new Mayday feature, which I think is interesting, but probably nothing going to come of that.
Oh yeah, that's the this free. Sorry, I don't have any glasses.
I know, I'm looking right now.
No, you look
really-
cool. You
I
look
feel
cool.
really left out.
Hold on, guys.
So yeah, Mayday is their free service, 24-hour support, right? You can just touch
Yes.
this Mayday button to do live video support. It's kind of a cool deal for old people that need help. I don't know how many of the rest of us will use that. Ron left for those listening and not on the video.
This
Ron
is the sound
just
of Ron
left.
digging for sunglasses.
He's digging for sunglasses, and he's back.
There we go.
Without sunglasses?
I don't really
Also,
know.
for those listening, we're all wearing. At least I'm wearing virtual glasses. Everybody else randomly just has glasses sitting.
Well, these are 3D. These are for my
Oh.
silly TV. But like 3D TVs are so pointless. I found out.
I've
Eric
got
went straight
glasses
up
on
Kanye on
glasses.
us. Glasses on
Oh,
glasses.
where did you get those,
On
Eric?
glasses.
So hot.
Yo, these are glow in the dark, man.
Ron's come up empty. It looks like.
I know. I've got the same kind as Eric. Mine don't glow, but I don't know. Oh, here they are.
These 3D glasses make Galaxy Gear totally fun to use.
Yeah,
So
all right.
Wow.
That's good.
Now we're good.
I feel complete now. So.
All right.
New Kindles, they're out if anybody wants those. They still don't use Google's services at all, so you have to use Amazon's App Store, and we don't really like that. CM and the Oppo N1 partnership is official. So the Oppo N1 is a massive phone. I think it has like a 5.9 or 6-inch screen. It has a rotatable camera that flips over on the top, which we assume will break within 2 months of use. Although they said they tested it thousands and thousands of times and it will last. But they partner with CM. So CyanogenMod, there's a special edition version of the phone that comes with CM already installed. And then the regular version you can boot into recovery and either decide if you want to install CM or keep the Oppo skin on there. I can't even think of what it's called. It's probably going to China only. I don't think anyone else is going to get it. So you could maybe import it or something like that, maybe then use it. That's pretty much it.
I wouldn't mind using it, just to kind of check it out.
Yeah, maybe check it out.
Yeah.
There was so much hype leading up to that, and then it was just the most disappointing announcement ever. It was like, hey, yeah, CM, we've got a hardware partner, but it's only in China. We've got the CM installer, but it's only going to work on phones that are already unlocked. It's just like, there's nothing special to come out of that whole announcement. It was just, I don't even know. It was very disappointing. It's not words that I can put into words.
Just words I can't even put into words.
It's
tough, man.
getting deep.
It's putting CM even more on the map, but for most of us that at least aren't into flashing CM, it's probably not really that big a deal. But there's obviously millions of people that still flash CM like crazy, so that could be kind of a big deal. It's obviously a big deal for the CM team. They're, sort of official, and they're making money doing what they love to do and all that stuff. So that's a big deal. But yeah, to us personally, maybe not the biggest of.
It's like they went public and then they really didn't go public. Like,
well, they're definitely still private, but.
Well, I mean, they went out into the consumer market with
Right.
Oppo, but people that couldn't already access it still can't really access it. So it was a whole lot of nothing to me.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how new builds will work and all of that stuff once the installer rolls out and all that stuff. I think there's definitely still some questions unanswered that I would like to see happen. But they have a hardware partner, which is a big step for them. Again, it's a Chinese phone, so they're never going to come here unless you want to import it or something like that. But
all the other major manufacturers just finished announcing all their phones. So if we were going to see anything with a bigger manufacturer, it wouldn't be right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Well,
so we might see something later.
Yeah, and you're not going to see HTC partner with CyanogenMod. That's not going to save their company. So
That's because HTC might not exist at that point.
what was the headline I just saw right before we started the show? They've lost 90% of their value since 2011 or something like that.
Sounds about right. Yeah. 2 years time. That's good.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yo,
Maybe Microsoft will buy them
if
too.
there's a
Yeah.
eventual fire sale on HTC Ones, I'm gonna be so happy. I'll buy one of those.
Really? Are you? I've got
I'll do it.
a pre-2 to hand over to you.
I
Straight
got
out
a
of a
bridge.
fire sale.
Oh, yeah.
How about a Moto X?
No, I've got that already.
Oh, he's got that.
But do you have a pre-2 running WebOS?
No, I don't need
Can
that.
you do real multitasking?
For real.
I almost had a
That's
what's it
what
called?
real
A touchpad,
Yes.
but man, those things went
Yeah.
fast.
I almost had one too. My order didn't go through. Amazon did not fulfill it.
The touchpad was such an overblown, stupid fire sale. That's all I have to
Alright.
say. Stupid. That's my comment about it. Stupid.
Well, that would have been my first tablet.
I just remember people
Yeah, me
freaking
too.
out about that, going, "Yes, and you can flash Android to it. It's so awesome." It's just. That's my professional opinion on that whole thing. Okay, so CM Oppo N1, that's official. BBM, do we think it's ever coming? We'll do this quickly.
It's
so BBM
dead.
was going to launch,
Rest in
was
peace.
it 2 weeks ago? And then a leaked build,
Yep.
leaked out. Yeah, that makes sense. A leaked build was released or flooded onto the interwebs the night before it was going to go, and 1 million people apparently downloaded, installed it, and crashed BBM on all BlackBerry servers and everything, and something happened, and they decided to postpone. And then after they postponed, they then got sold, correct, right? Or are going to get sold or bought by some independent group or something. They're done, essentially, and we don't even know if it's coming. I think they said within the last couple of days on Twitter that it's still coming, but I think we're having some doubts, right? The BBMs are
Liars.
coming.
Well, the thing is they pre-announced it in March. It was
it's
coming to
been a- it's
Android
been
and
a while.
iOS.
Oh, this
been a
has
while.
been
They said it was going to come out.
Official announcement.
Yeah, they announced it. I think it was in March. It was at BBX or whatever the heck they named their super
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah.
They announced it, said, "Hey, it's coming out in summer." They wait till the very last day of summer
Mm-hmm.
to release it, and then they don't even release it because
Yeah.
it crashed from some buggy.
I just had
early
the image
version.
of people running around in whatever server system they were using. It just everything was on fire. They just blew their minds.
They
It's just-
It
opened
wasn't
the
supposed to be out
doors.
until the
Like
morning.
literally on
going
fire.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hell
geez.
broke loose over there, and now
Pretty sure there was a.
that's just what I pictured was going on that night
And their
when I read the
servers broke.
stories.
They can't even purchase a fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
totally. They're throwing like Z10s at it or whatever.
Not the ones with the keyboard. Those are valuable. That's going to differentiate us. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anybody else read I think it was the Globe that did, and somebody else did that. But so apparently Lazaridis and whoever the other guy was that was running it, because you need 2 CEOs to run a company like that. They had the whole BBM deal that they were trying to push for years, and trying to make that replace SMS, which is kind of a cool idea, I think. But then, so I guess Lazaridis was pushing and saying, "Hey, we need to have a smartphone with a keyboard because that's going to be a differentiator. That's what is going to set us apart. Everybody else is doing slab phones," which is he's right. That's true. It is a differentiator. Nobody wants it, but it's a differentiator. It's just they were so screwed up in so many ways, and now they're kind of finally almost gone. Like
now they're
Nokia.
dead.
Is it sad? Is anyone a little sad that BlackBerry is dead?
No.
I never used one, so
I had a tour and a curve.
Oh, I had one before I got my Droid. I can't remember which one it was.
No,
It was the maroon one. I can't even remember. It was on Verizon though.
That was probably a
That was
curve.
Almost got a
cool.
storm. Dodged a
Probably a
bullet
curve.
there.
I was all about the Voyager, LG Voyage.
Well, actually, if my tour hadn't failed within a month of owning it and the little trackball dying, we wouldn't be sitting here right now doing Droid Life, because then I
Oh,
that's
scammed.
right.
I scammed
Man.
an extra upgrade and got the original Droid, and the rest is history.
Hey.
Thank you, BlackBerry. Thank you,
That's how I got an
BlackBerry.
Android.
BlackBerry birth Droid Life. Wow.
BlackBerry, yeah.
Wow.
Freaking exclusive headline.
Here we are,
BlackBerry birth Droid Life.
Spitting on their grave, and we just owe this whole website to them.
Exclusive. Oh yeah, breaking.
Thank you,
Android blogger, thanks. Rim. Oh jeez.
Jim Dalrymple's writing it up right now.
Love me some
Phil
Tom.
Schiller's going to be tweeting about it soon.
Shenanigans. Phil Schiller. Shenanigans. Such a. Okay, let's talk apps and games quickly, and then we'll sort of wrap up. So, Eric, you got something?
Yeah, so GTA 5's out. It's all good. It's been out for a couple weeks. It's a really good game. Go play it if you haven't. Um, Rockstar was like, hey, we're going to have this phone app that you can install, and you can do this stuff in the game when you're away from the game. And I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Unfortunately, I should have seen it coming. Only out on iOS right now. But it's called the iFruit app. They said it's coming to Android soon, but that's also what Nike said about their Fuel Band app. And
Don't trust Rockstar when it comes
rest
to
in peace.
releasing.
Hey, I trust Rockstar with a lot of stuff, so I'm at
They
least
wanted
giving
to
them the
start
benefit.
with the
Don't do it when it comes to Android. Trust me.
they wanted to start with the second most popular OS. What's the big deal?
I know, totally.
So it's called iFruit. It's their little take on Apple in the game. It's actually pretty funny. It's got a Los Santos customs thing where you can customize your car when you're away from the game. Like you can basically pimp my ride while you're away from the game, and when you turn it on, your car will be like customized and everything. It's just pretty awesome. They've also got a mini game built around the dog in the game called Chop, who is pretty awesome.
Chop's my homie.
You can fetch with him. You can do all sorts of stuff. I can't wait until it comes to Android, if it ever comes to Android.
I won't even have to get a real dog because I'll have Chop.
Yeah, I'll just play Chop.
Sorry, real
GTA.
dogs. You're gonna get neglected.
Hey, if you don't want to have a real life, GTA is like the best game to have because you can just go play tennis.
Because
you
that's
can go
the
play
best
golf.
life you could possibly have.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'll just get a
if you don't have a
Tamagotchi if
life-
I want a digital pet. You know.
Right.
I can at least
mean-
feed that thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Until the battery
Watch him
dies.
die.
You can make Chop fetch a grenade in Grand Theft Auto.
So
Okay.
Eric.
Die, though.
What other app?
Oh yeah, another. Oh, what else you got, Eric?
Yeah, what else you got?
Oh yeah.
I
So-
just know you want to talk more GTA later, so let's do these apps for a minute here.
Speed Test 3.0. It's pretty awesome, even though it does look like it's just an iOS port. It works fine. It looks good, and it's got a nice little Easter egg. I know we didn't write it up in the story, but it was up in the comments. It's kind of sad. Apparently Ookla is named after a cat that died, and now it lives on inside of your app. So if you do a speed test and then pull down the little what's it called?
The little
If you
meter.
pull this down,
Or what is it?
yeah,
Can you go with all
gauge.
that?
A little cat shows up and it tells a little story about Ookla. Rest in peace. So yeah,
R.I.P. Ookla.
those are my two apps. Rest in peace.
Poor Kite.
We gotta pour one out for Ookla.
So yeah, that is available now. It's about time they released that. But didn't the iOS version get
Yeah.
that update 2 years ago or something? I think everyone said.
Cat.
Yeah, probably.
We've had it for a while.
All right, Tim, what do you got?
Today I got Dead on Arrival 2. It hit Google Play last week, I want to say. Great game. It's a zombie shoot 'em up. I mean, because we have to have more of those on Google Play. But this one's cool. The file is huge. The gameplay is fun. It's a little over the shoulder. You got your two little joysticks. You got one that moves around, a little third-person action, and then zombies be coming in at you, and you shoot them up with a minigun. It's just your all-time favorite kill 'em all, and it's free. So having a free kill 'em all zombie game, Dead on Arrival 2, it's fantastic. Try it out. Next I have okay.
You said Dead on Arrival. For some reason, I thought you said Dead or Alive, and so I was imagining the Dead or Alive game on Android.
Dead or Alive 2, yes.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was imagining, and then you're talking about zombies. I was like, I don't remember that in the game.
No, yeah, probably not. So Cronus, aka C Lock is how I pronounced it, but it was baked into CyanogenMod ROMs. Now it's available on Google Play. It's a clock/weather widget that you put on your home screen or your lock screen if your Android device is running 4.2 or higher. It's a nice little clock. You can kind of customize the look a little bit, but it's clean, it's minimal, it's plush, it's great. So Cronus, CHRONUS, and it's available on Google Play for free. Try it out. Thanks.
Bye, Tim.
Honest. I've got like 4 apps I'm going to whip through. So the first one is Banks. It's an icon set that, well, I know him through Twitter and everything as Jason Legacy. Can't remember what his company's called that he works for. It's called Banks. Here, I've got it right here. I know that you can't really see that terrible web. There we go. Focus. It's kind of a soft sort of, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just a really cool icon pack. It's got really nice wallpapers, and I think he has over 800 icons in it or something like that. It's really cool. It's called Banks, Banx. Also, I want to talk about Themer, which is My Color Screen's new application that's essentially a third-party launcher, but it has all these preloaded themes in it that you can download, tap, install, and they essentially apply to your phone and retheme your phone instantly. It's really cool. It's in beta, though, so you have to sign up to get a code to have it unlocked and all the stuff. It is free, but so it's called Themer by My Color Screen. We did a whole video of it earlier. It's actually a pretty solid app. I want to talk about Push Bullet. I think we've talked about Push Bullet in the past, but it just got a major update, so brand new UI, and you can actually push files between devices now. You used to have to submit them from computer to phone or tablet. Now you can actually go from like phone to tablet or tablet to tablet or phone to phone. Sweet app. I use it. Tim, I don't know if you use it. I know we talked about it in the past, but I use it constantly throughout the day. If I've got I've got a web page up or something that I need to send it right to my phone, you just tap the little push bullet button because it has a Chrome extension. Sweet. And then I've been playing Kingdom Rush like crazy, which is we wrote up last week. It's a sequel to, I can't remember what the first one was called, Kingdom something. And yeah, it's a, what's the damn word for it? Tower defense. Tim, are you muted, by the way?
He's definitely muted.
Yeah.
Man, yes, I was talking the whole time. I was like, this one's the last one was called Kingdom Rush. This one's called Kingdom Rush Frontiers. I think.
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, and yes, it's a tower defense game.
Tower
is
defense.
what I was saying.
Damn name. No, you've been muted for a good like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, because I was yelling at myself.
So Kingdom Rush Frontiers is what it's called. Yeah. Anyways, I've been ridiculously using. I'm one of those tower defense junkies though. Like I get one and I play it until I beat the thing and whatever. I've been playing it like crazy. It's really fun though. So, anyways, Banks, Icons, Themer, Push Bullet, Kingdom Rush, Frontiers. Those are my apps.
That's a good one.
Anybody else have any others?
Banks Icons, I can vouch for. Those are pretty hot.
They're pretty hot.
Quap, though, on Android. Everybody needs to go get it from the Humble Bundle. So fun.
Is that Big Sean's app?
What?
What? How do you spell it? Guap?
Quap.
It's guac, like guacamole.
QWOP.
Oh.
QWOP. Do not play it. It's the most frustrating thing ever.
Oh,
it's those games, yeah, where you have to try to make the guy run.
Christ. That's the worst game ever.
It's the most frustrating thing ever.
It's so fun, though.
Yeah. No. That's not fun. How is that fun? It's aggravating.
All right.
Anyways.
Let's start wrapping up then. It's 7.
Sorry, guys. We're keeping you late.
Do you guys really want to talk about GTA again?
We don't have to.
No. That was Eric being silly.
Eric loves GTA so much right now. And so have you beat it? You and Tim have both beat the game,
No,
I would assume?
I'm not even halfway through the story, but I got...
Oh, you're a loser then. I beat the story.
Online came out yesterday.
Tim put that thing down in like 2 days.
Yeah. It was nothing. But I'm a pro gamer, so it's kind of different.
I was one of the few people that got the glitches to go away so I could play online, so I was pretty happy.
Oh, congrats, man. All right, well, hey, I'm your Xbox friend, so let's play maybe.
Yeah, so people in the chat have been asking if we set up a DL crew, because you can set up crews for online mode where you can like run around in a little gang and make money and get experience and stuff, so I feel like we should do that.
All right.
I feel like we should get Kellen to try this out at some point.
No, he's not going to try. I already tried.
Come on. We gotta
He's not
try.
going to, trust me. Hey, guys, thanks for joining tonight. It's been a blast.
Oh, wait, there's like breaking news that's just come across.
Crap.
Bright Spots, the Target prepaid plan that we wrote every single detail about yesterday, it's official now. They announced it.
Live.
Good job, Target. So Target
Target
has a prepaid service that works on T-Mobile. So yeah, if you wanted to know about it, we told you all about it yesterday, but it's official now. Good job, Target. All right, yeah. And anything else then? We wrap up, close her down.
Let's wrap it up, close it down.
All right, thanks again for joining, everyone. That's DL Show episode 37. Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back probably next week. I'll look. Anyways, we'll let you know. Peace.